And when you're out of alignment, you feel lost, you feel hopeless, you feel frustrated. You got to work really hard just to make a little bit of progress. People are repelled by you. It's like your higher self is trying to lead you and contact you to guide you to what you want, but you've deviated off the highlighted route because of your being out of alignment.
There he is.
What's good? What's up, man?
How
you
doing?
Doing?
Good.
I'm doing
good.
good. I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really excited to be on today, man. So, I got my water. I got my coffee. I'm ready to do this.
Caffeine and water. That's all you need in life.
There you go. So, so you're from New York, huh?
From New York, born and raised. Yeah.
Where at?
So the journey started Spanish Harlem.
Right.
Then we kind of hopped around different boroughs. Eventually went across the Hudson River, and then a few years ago made my way out here in LA.
All right. Good. Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn myself.
Brooklyn. Always in the house.
There you go.
Always in the house.
There you go. But I'm loving California. You know, it's definitely my second home.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel good to be here.
Yeah.
Coming to Cali was good because it was good to just get a different perspective on life. Good to not have to look behind my back. You know, able to just relax. So
now it's a different ball game. Yeah.
There you go.
For sure. Well, for those who aren't familiar with you, one, definitely do a little checkup on last season of Black Love season 4. Also do a checkup on last season of After Love.
Right.
And if that's not enough, you and Melanie are both featured on The Amazing Clarks, which is an amazing podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I was excited. You know that from day one, our first conversation, I was excited to get you guys on board because I feel like there's so much information that you both provide. I mean, there was so much information you both provided on After Love and Black Love. And I could just see that this could be so helpful. And then when I realized you're a life coach and you're helping, and you and Melanie are helping in all facets, whether empowering or love or singledom and all the dumbs. It's like, I was like, you guys are it. You guys are amazing. And there's a lot that you've unpacked so far, just from what I've heard and what I've watched. And I've been excited. I've been looking forward to this one. So I'm glad we both were able to coordinate and get this time together. Yeah.
Thank you for all that love. That
Absolutely.
was the kudos. I appreciate it. And she'll appreciate it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot I want to jump into. I guess number one, talking about it, coming from Brooklyn, New York, what, and kind of, I'm going to jump into your history a little bit before kind of fast forwarding to now, but what brought you from you growing up in Brooklyn? And I think you had your heart set on basketball, baseball, and then lo and behold, you end up a life coach and an amazing one at that.
Thank you.
Again, no pun intended.
Hey, do you know why they call us the Amazing Clarks?
Well, I know why I call you guys the Amazing Clarks, but why?
Because we empower people to live amazing lives. And when we first started coaching, we were just going by the Clarks. And then when we would get like TV interviews and things like that, when they're going through the list, they'd be like, okay, doctor this, therapist so-and-so, and on and on and on. And when they get to the Clarks, it's just like Clarks. So one day we were like, okay, what if we changed it? And what would we change it to? And it was like, after every session, people say, you know what? You guys are amazing because you help us to live amazing lives. So it was like the Amazing Clarks. And we did it. And at first, people were like, what is that? Like a vaudeville act? Like, you guys magicians, the Amazing Clarks. And, but after a while, it stuck. And so we love the name, we own it, and we love helping people to live amazing lives. So I'm going to stick to it. But now getting back to your question.
Yeah.
I started off in Brooklyn playing sports, and that was the way I kind of stayed out of trouble. I still got into trouble growing up, but it was just the sports were just enough of an escape to kind of keep me from going over the edge.
Sure.
And I never expected to live to be 18. So growing up, like most of the kids in New York, it was just like, okay, I'm going to probably end up in prison or dead, like most of my buddies. So I had dreams of going to college and playing sports and having a bigger life.
Sure.
But I didn't really think it was possible. So I excelled in sports, and I had a coach in California, in New York, and he coached Bernard King and Bernard King and Albert King, the King brothers.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
And so he got a coaching job in California at a junior college. And he handpicked 5 of the best players that he could find in Brooklyn, the Bronx, and Manhattan. And out of the 5, he picked me. And so he came to California. He brought me to California. And I played sports, went to college. And the goal was to play 1 year junior college ball and then go to Fresno State and play at Fresno State. That was my plan. But then I got injured, fractured my shin, and that took me out of sports. And for the first time in my life, it was like sports had always been my life. So my identity was gone.
Sure.
And that led to the marriage, which I don't know if you want me to jump into that yet, do you?
We'll get there in a second. We'll get there in a second.
Right. So basically, that's how I got to California. And after the injury, I kept going to school, but I dropped out after about 3 years, so I didn't complete it. And then I just got a 9-to-5 and started, just living a more of a traditional life.
Sure.
But I decided to stay in California because, like I said, I had opportunities here. I had peace of mind here. I didn't have to look all over my back all the time. It was safer. And growing up in New York, it really taught me, like, growing up on the streets like that, it helped me to build a certain type of character where I wasn't impressed by wealth and I'm not intimidated by poverty. So I could be around anyone and I could interact with anyone, business people, people in the hood. And so I'm here today, California. Odds are I'm going to probably always live in California.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. No. So you wanted to go into relationship. I mean, there's a few things here with the relationship that I want to bring up, but is your relationship one of, if not the reason, how you segued into life coaching? And yeah. It is the reason. The reason. Okay.
The reason. So I'm sure you've have you seen the movie Hitch?
Yeah.
That story is my story to the T. So
I'm gonna go and rewatch it then.
Yeah. So when I went to college, I immediately got involved with my college girlfriend. And I noticed that when she was around other people, she treated other people really bad. I mean, just like really bad. But I felt like, okay, as long as she doesn't do that to me, it doesn't make a difference. She can treat them like that, but not me. I'm good. But it was just so I moved in with her right away, and I was only 17. Wow. And we started playing house, locking it down. And then she started turning on me. And we started fighting like cats and dogs nonstop. And I was in a situation where, like I said, I was young, and it was like, how do you handle this? So I read books and traditional perspectives, and their perspective was more like, happy wife, happy life. Just submit, just make her happy.
Right.
That's a real man.
Yeah.
So break up, fighting, break up, make up, fighting, break up, make up. And one day she comes back and goes, I'm pregnant with twin boys, and they're yours. And at the time, my injury started to heal a little more, and I had an opportunity to play pro basketball in Peru and to pursue a pro baseball career with the Brewers, AA baseball.
Wow. And
when she came back and said I was pregnant, and she was pregnant with twin boys, I was like, okay, be honest, are they mine? When we were separated, I was doing my thing. Were you doing your thing? And she was like, no, I wasn't. They're yours. So even though I knew we weren't a good match, we shouldn't be together. It was toxic. My father wasn't there for me when I was growing up. And I made a promise that I'd always be there for my kids regardless of the situation. So even though I knew I didn't want to be with her, we weren't good for each other, I felt I had a responsibility for the boys.
Sure.
So I gave up the athletic career, put her on hold, told the agents I can't do it now. Had to get a job right then and there to support her. And the twins were born, Anthony and Andrew, named after me. The loves of my life. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. So as the relationship went on, I thought the kids might make it better. It just got worse.
Yeah.
And eventually got so bad that it was like, I can't live like this anymore. So we separated. And once we separated, the questions started coming up from people that I knew. Are those boys really yours? Are they yours? So it was like, So I asked her about it, and she was like, of course they're yours, and she just went off on me. She's like, I'm going to take you for every dime, every penny. I'm going to sue you. You'll never see the kids again. How dare you? So I went and got a blood test. Not mine. Not mine. So here I am, 21 years old, my marriage is over, my athletic career is over, the boys are not mine, lost the loves of my life.
Wow.
Hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
I literally felt suicidal. It was really hard to not take myself out. It really was. And at my lowest point, I realized that this isn't necessarily a curse. This can also be a blessing because I have a second opportunity in life. And I also realized that since I was a little kid growing up in Brooklyn, I grew up around broken relationships, and it really bothered me as a kid. And I made a promise to myself at 7 years old that one day I'm going to grow up and I'm going to attract my soulmate. We're going to have this incredible love affair. Then we're going to turn around and teach the rest of the world how to do it too. That was my dream at 7 years old. I'd listen to love songs under the cover.
Yeah.
And we'd just fantasize.
Yeah.
And so once the marriage was over and I hit rock bottom, that was one of the things that pulled me out of it. I could always feel the one. And I knew that my first wife wasn't the one when I married her. And even at one point when we went to go get fitted for our tuxedos, I was with our brothers and our father. And while I was trying on my tuxedo, I said, you know what? The next time I get married, I'm going to wear blue. And they stopped and like, what? And I was like, oh, did I say that out loud? So like I said, I felt that the one was still out there, but I also knew that in order to have that kind of relationship, and I knew she was going to be incredible, I had to be on point. I had to be the best me possible. So it was like, okay, stop feeling sorry for yourself, pick yourself up, get your shit together.
Yep.
Start growing, start expanding. I learned everything that I could. I was on a mission, and I'm obsessive. When I get on something, I lock on. And whether it's sports, whether it's a concept, no matter what it is. And so it was like, learn as much as I can about spirituality, tap into women's sexuality, psychology, quantum physics, neuroscience. I went all over the place. And when all was said and done, because my goal was to not only be ready for her, but I wanted, when it came to women, I wanted to understand them so well that I wanted to be the baddest man on the planet when it came to chicks.
That's what it sounds like.
To be perfectly honest.
That's what it sounds like.
To be honest.
Yeah.
And so after a while, it started coming together. And I didn't do it the traditional way because I realized in my first marriage, that's what I did, everything traditional. And it didn't get me the results. Like most people that do it, they don't get the results from that. So I had to create my own roadmap. And it worked. I was dating women left to right, the most beautiful woman you could imagine. It was so easy for me. And it was so easy that it got to the point where men started watching me, and guys that I knew, and they were like, dude, how are you doing that? Teach me this. So then I started teaching other guys, and it worked for them. And just like the movie Hitch, they called him the date doctor. They gave me the nickname, the game doctor. And so that's what got me into coaching. The guys would take me out and be like, okay, we're gonna pay for all the drinks, we're gonna pay for all your food, we're gonna even pay you. Let's go to this club, teach us how to pick up chicks. And it's like, okay, that one right there, say this, do this, approach it like this, works, bang. Then they'd bring back more guys, teach me. And that turned into like a little side business. So that's what initially led to the coaching. And then when I met Melanie and we got together, am I going too fast? Am I messing up the program? Okay, because I don't want to get too ahead of the game.
No.
And so I met her, and like I said, I knew I was going to find love, but I wasn't ready for love yet. It was like, damn it, I'm having such a good time. And now
too soon.
Yeah, too soon. And when I met her, we met at a nightclub in Fresno. And she approached me and offered to buy me a drink, which I loved. Because to me, I was looking for a ride or die chick. The woman, I'm ambitious. I want it all.
Sure.
I want to do big things. And I wanted a woman that thought like me. So when she bought me a drink, the other chicks in the club were playing cute. Like they saw me come in and they were like, I'm trying to wait for me to approach them. And it was like, that ain't happening. Melanie saw me and she approached me and she offered to buy me a drink. I loved it. I loved her confidence. I loved that she was a go-getter. She went after what she wanted. It was like, yes. Then we sat down and started talking. Now, keep in mind, this was about 30 years ago. So now we're sitting down, we're talking. I bought her drinks after that. The conversation immediately went to spirituality, which at that time, nobody was on that level, especially like holistic spirituality, and conscious creation. So all night long, we just had this amazing conversation. In the back of my mind, it was like, shit, she could be the one. I think this is it. So it was like, okay, I'll know for sure now. Because my chick, again, the one for me is like me, no games. And if there's not sexual chemistry, it ain't happening. We can't build a relationship on that. I'm not doing that.
Sure.
So it was like, okay, I'm going to give her an offer. She could take it or leave it. If she leaves it and doesn't take it, it's like, okay, we weren't meant to be. Good luck to you. But if she takes it, okay. So we were the club was, the night was over, and I was like, okay, I'm going home. You coming? She stopped. She thought about it. She was like, all right, let's go. So she went home with me that night. The sex was incredible. The chemistry was amazing. So it was like, okay, the mentality is there, the connection is there, spiritually, emotionally, and the sex is there. And after that, it was like all of the other women that I was dating, I didn't want to be with them anymore. Because before, it was like, I'm not going to settle for just another woman. She has to be amazing. And I want a woman that has all the qualities that I need. And before that, it was like, I couldn't find one woman with all the qualities. One is a good cook, but she has no sense of humor. The other one has a sense of humor, but she's dumb as rocks. The other one's intelligent, but she's not good in bed. Yeah. And I was honest with all of them. That's the key, honesty. This is where I'm at. I'm not trying to lock it down. If you don't want this, that's cool too, but I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to play games. This is where I'm at. So because I couldn't find one with all of them, like I said, I dated multiple ones, but then Melanie had all of them. And then when it was time to Friday night, Saturday night, time to go out, it was like, okay, who do I want to hang out with? Melanie. Next week, who do I want to hang out with? Melanie. And we fell in love. And so I immediately realized that when I talked to her about relationship stuff, she got it. She was good. Her perspectives were at one point. And we had an agreement. I explained to her that on the first date we went out on, that I don't just want a partner, I want a soulmate. I don't just want a relationship, I want bliss. And if I can't have that, I won't settle for anything less. I'd rather be single by myself than to settle for less. So if we're going to do this, that's what I'm going for. And she said the same thing, that's what I want too. I want a soulmate and I want bliss. If not, I'm good being single. So it was like, okay, so if we're going to have that, we can't use the traditional methods to get it. Yeah. We're going to have to create our own roadmap because very, very few couples ever get that kind of relationship. I wanted a relationship where we're going to be closer and more in love over time instead of growing apart and falling out of love like most couples. So that was our goal. And it was like, okay, we got to get there. So we're going to use our relationship as a guinea pig, as a lab test, in order to get it. So we did
I love that.
We thought out the box.
Yeah.
We customized it to fit us, and we went big. And then we got it. It clicked. And we had this amazing relationship. And then other people would see us and be like, man, you guys like crazy in love. You just met each other? It's like, no, we've been together for a few years now. So I brought it up to her about coaching. And it was like, babe, you know what? You're a coach. And one day me and you are going to be coaching together. And she's like, I got my own thing. No, get out of here. That's your thing. That's your thing. It's like, all right, it's okay. I'm going to hold that vision. And so one day she realized that she was a great coach and she wants to do it. So then we started coaching together. So now we expanded from just coaching men to coaching men and women and couples, all ages, all types. And the business just took off. And we were able to get better results than people would get in traditional therapy. So like, for example, traditional therapists, if you get like a 35, 40% success rate, client success rate, you're killing it. Our success rate was 90 to 95%,
wow.
which is unheard of. And
yeah.
It's been like that for the last 22 years that we've been coaching together. And I love coaching with her. I love working with her. She's my best friend. She's my homie. She's my lover. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, so that's how we got into coaching. And that took off. We had some great TV opportunities, made some great connections, and now it's just this really successful international life coaching practice. We coach people in relationships, we coach people in life, spirituality, you name it. Over the 22 years, we coach people in every single aspect of life. Things that you'd be like, really? People would coach on that? But we're intuitive coaches as well. So in our principles and our methodology, it's not that traditional regurgitated fluff that so much of that is out there. This was a new and groundbreaking, and the methodology that we teach, it works in all aspects of life, regardless of your situation.
So what do you think? So in all of your experience, 22 years experience with coaching and helping men and women, are there any common themes that have come up over and over again where you just kind of see this is that one thing that challenges people the most? This is that one thing, or few things, because it's never just the one thing, right? There's always things, multiple things that pop up time and time again for you.
Right. I think that the one that jumps out the most is that couples aren't taking responsibility for their own happiness. They're looking at the other person to make them happy. And that other person can never make you happy. So it's like I always say, one of the keys to our success in our marriage and to still be passionately in love, we are passionately in love. And it's been 30 years. And we still literally grow more and more. Thank you. We literally grow more and more love over time like we planned. So there'll be times we're just sitting around. It's like, babe, you feel that? She's like, I feel that. I'm more in love with you. I'm more in love with you too. Yes, we celebrate. And that happens like at least every couple of months. So we're looking forward to being 100. By then, we're going to be like over the top.
Oh, I love that. Look, because I think, not to interrupt your flow, but I think I have two thoughts to that. One, a lot of couples look for I just clapped you up for 30 years, but I clapped you up more so because of the progress over those 30 years. So it's not about the number for me personally, and I don't think it's that for you and Melanie also, it sounds like. It's not about the number, it's about the level of growth you've had over that 30 years plus.
There you go. You got it.
So
you got it. You nailed it. And we always tell people, you're on this level in your relationship, in your life, in all areas. We're always striving to get to higher levels.
Yeah.
Higher levels of success, love, commitment, you name it. How are you going to get to the higher levels? To go there, you got to grow there. To go there, you got to grow there. You can't be who you are today and go, I want this other life, but I'm not going to change and grow.
Yeah.
No, you got to grow. So when couples have conflict, fights, those are really opportunities to grow. So we look at those as like, wow, as good as we are, as close as we are, this conflict is showing us that there's still room for growth. We still have room to get even closer. Yeah. So we don't fight to win, we fight to grow. And other couples in their relationships, they fight to win. And when you fight to win, both of you are going to lose. And you're going to be married and stuck with a loser. So we're like, no. When the conflict happens, it's like, okay, roll your sleeves up. We have a strategy that we use. And once we get done with that conflict, it actually brings us closer. It makes us fall more in love instead of growing apart. And so that's one of the things I love teaching couples. But I'm going to go back now to that question you asked. I love Melanie to death. She's amazing. Passionately in love with her. But she does not complete me. She does not fulfill me. Nor is it possible for her to do that. And it's wrong to even give her that job. She can't do it.
Thank you. Yep.
I can't do it for her. I don't fulfill her. Nor do I want that job, nor can I do that. My job, first and foremost in the relationship, is to fill my own void. When couples first meet, it's like there's this emptiness inside of you, this thing that's missing. And then when you meet that person, you're around them, it's like, oh my God, when I'm around you, it gives them an illusion that they're filling that void, that other person is filling that void with their attention. And it feels so good finally. But eventually that person's going to take their attention away from you or act in a way that you don't want them to act. And then that void's going to come back. And then you're going to go, hey, what are you doing? Stop being selfish and doing the things that you want to do to make you happy, and start doing the things I need you to do to make me happy and fill my void.
Right.
It's never going to happen. You're going to grow apart. So in the relationship, first and foremost, my job is to be self-fulfilled. Not someone else fulfill me, self-fulfilled. So I take responsibility for my happiness, for my expansion, for my growth, for my success, for my financial success, for all aspects of life. I'm good. Now she's over there doing the same thing. When you get two people together that are self-fulfilled, it's easy to build a great relationship on top of that because that foundation is so strong. But most couples, they're not doing that.
Yeah.
They're looking at the other person doing it, and then they don't do it right or wrong, and then I'm mad at you, and I'm going to pull back away from you, and then you want me to do it for you, and I'm going to pull. It doesn't work. So it's about couples learning to be, individuals learning to be self-fulfilled. And don't wait until you get into a relationship to do it. Learn to do it when you're single.
Right, like you did.
Yeah, like I did.
Like you
exactly.
did. And that's the, I think I'm sure I brought this up a few times in past conversations, but I have one theory. Me and my wife talk about the 1 + 1 = 3 theory. So it's basically what you're saying, where self-fulfillment, it's supposed to equal 2, but it actually equals 3 because you have your life, she has her life, you bring that together.
Yeah.
That doesn't equal 2, it's magnified. It's magnified.
Right, you got it.
Yeah.
So there's so many things that over the years that we've just seen, like the patterns of couples, why they're not getting it right. And, you know, a lot of them also are using traditional methods.
Yeah.
And traditional relationship advice, it was not designed and created for love and fulfillment and connection. It was created back in the time when men and women depended on each other for survival. A woman, they didn't work, so the man had the money and a job and the protection, and the woman provided the kids and the whole. So it was a business deal more so.
Yeah.
An agreement. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's the foundation of traditional relationship beliefs. And so now they're trying to use that old, outdated program to create something that it was never intended to create, and it can't create. It's very difficult. If you get it, if you can create it out of that, kudos to you. You're on the next level. But very few people are able to do that, you know. So what we did, that's why I created that roadmap. We created our own roadmap, one that's designed specifically for that, and it works. But that's one of the things that I believe is definitely holding a lot of couples back. They gotta drop those old beliefs and, you know, step into the new program.
Yeah. No, I'm with it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I love all of it. There's one thing you brought up at the beginning of, midway through the conversation so far that you touched on. There's a few things, but there's one I just wanted to bring up because on a recent podcast of yours with you and Melanie, I should say, the Amazing Clarks, you did a part 1 on the sins of your parents.
Inheriting your parents' sins.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And now because I have the inside track, I know you
Right.
did a part 2
Right.
that's soon to publish, where you share about kind of the thoughts you're having now
Yeah.
regarding the 2
Yeah.
boys that you talked about. So I
Right.
wanted to make sure we didn't get too far off track
Good.
before I really wanted to bring that up. You know, I don't want to any spoiler alerts here, but this is real talk. And, you know, I know you're vulnerable AF, so you put it all out there, so, which I appreciate. So, I mean, so yeah, so look, you raise these boys for about 4 years, and like you said, they get pulled away from you. And now recently doing that podcast, and there's probably some things in your personal life that brought you to start thinking, what of these 2 young men that, you know, I brought up, I thought they were mine. I swore they were mine. They were named after me, for crying out loud. What should I do? Like, should I have the conversation? Do they think I just stepped out on them? Do they think no good? Do they think I still don't care about them? Like, I don't think about them? How are you feeling about this? What's there now?
You know, I'd say it's been bothering me for a few years now. And when I made the choice to pull away from them, the reason that I did it was because I knew that they weren't mine, or everything had came out, but I felt like they had nothing to do with that. And my love for them was unconditional. So yes, it was painful. It was hard on the ego and the heart. It was really hard.
Sure.
But I still loved them. So I would go pick them up. And the deal that she made with me was that you better not tell them the truth.
Wow.
If you tell them the truth, I'll never let you see them again.
Wow.
And it was like, okay, how's that going to work? That's not good.
Yeah.
And inheriting your parents' sins, the thing that was ironic about it was that my father wasn't there for me. He was never around. And I just thought he wanted nothing to do with me. And without going into too many details, that was not the truth. It was something completely different.
Wow.
Which was like, oh.
Okay.
So when I was spending time with them, I noticed that when I would get them, each time their behaviors would change. Like they'd become like really disrespectful to me. And I'm the kind of father who was like, no, you don't play that with me. And I've never had that relationship with them. But then they'd come back and be like, my mother said, we don't have to listen to you because you don't love us. You don't come around. That's why you're never around, because you don't. And it was like, wait a minute. But I can't say anything, because if I do now, I'm not able to see them.
Yeah. And
they got to the point where they were so just blatantly disrespectful, kicking me, spitting on me. One spit on me one time. And it was like,
wow.
Okay.
Wow.
And even going, you can't touch me. My mother said, you better not put a hand, you better not play. And then she was also in the process of getting remarried. And it was almost like she was trying to punish me. She was just coming after me even more. Mm. So I was getting ready to go into the Department of Corrections as a correction officer. I used to work for the state. And I was going to they were going to ship me to like the desert near Mexico. So I was going to leave anyway. And it was like, okay, you know what? I can't keep doing this. I can't keep having this kind of relationship. I can't keep living this lie. I can't be with him as much as I want. I can't take the treatment. So I pulled away.
Sure.
And she got remarried and time passed. So a couple of years ago, I ran across a friend who was still in contact with him and the mother. And she said, you know, I was around them and she was talking really bad about you. And the boys were there too, and they were doing it too. And she said, and I realized that she never told them the truth. They think that you just abandoned them, that you're their real dad, and you just said, I want nothing to do with you. So they're grown-ups now, and I hear they're doing really well. They graduated college, they got married, and have children, and they moved on. But it just bothered, it just has, for a couple of years now, it's just been really bothering me.
Yeah,
and And I know how it felt when I thought my father did that to me. And the thought that they're thinking that I did that to them just breaks my heart. So I've been contemplating and trying to get my mind right so I know, like, if I'm going to reach out to them, when to do it. And also why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
To get clear on that.
Yeah.
And I want to do it for the right reasons. But yet, it's like, do I interrupt their life? Is that something they want? For me, I'm not sure. What am I going to step into? Because by now, the stories, I'm sure, are just like, so that's what that episode was about. Where am I at now with it? I'm pretty confident I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
When am I going to do it? I'm not sure. But sometime soon. I want it to be soon because and whatever happens either way, I just want to make peace with it and speak my truth. And I can't control what happens after that. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean that'll be big of you when you do, but I also think it'll be another area of growth because you again, this is for another time, but you kind of referenced with your father of what you understood, and that's probably something that passed down. You said, there's either a similarity or parallel. I don't know what it is, but where I need to be at peace with myself, where I can, at least to your point, give your truth, and that's it. It's out. And I always feel like that's the therapy in itself. If you can release, if you're in an argument, if you're in a disagreement, what have you, the fact that you can release it, it doesn't matter right or wrong, and it doesn't matter what that feedback's going to be on the other side. You let that energy go.
You got it.
So now it's out of your sphere of being.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm a believer that if I'm feeling that, odds are they're feeling that too. They're thinking about it too. What kind of conversation they're having about it, I don't know. But I can feel energetically, and I'm very in tune energetically with stuff like that. And if that's what they want, like I said, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Stay tuned.
Yeah. Stay tuned. Yeah. But I do think look, ultimately the outcome will be beautiful and, at minimum for you. And hopefully, as you said, with your intuition, maybe even more so for all of you.
Right. And and even with the whole situation, like I'll tell people about the story, and so many times people will be like, man, I feel sorry for you. I wish that wouldn't have happened. That's too bad. I wish I could have protected you from that. And I'm like, no. That was the best thing that could have happened to me. That was meant to be. I grew. I expanded. And I don't blame her. We were young.
Yeah.
We were trying to figure it out. And I believe everybody's doing the best that they could, the best that they can with what they have to work with. And we were in that same situation. So in the beginning, I was angry and I was pissed off.
Sure.
But as you grow up and you learn, it's like, okay, no. We have a saying, EIP. Everything is perfect. There are no accidents. There are no mistakes. Everything that's unfolding is unfolding for our greater good. But the universe is playing chess, not checkers. So when we we got to play chess, not checkers. Yeah. So that was EIP. That was meant to be.
Got it. No, I love that. EIP. I'm gonna note that one.
There you go. It's a good one.
No, it's a very good one. It's a great one.
It's a great reminder. It's an easy reminder.
Yeah. Totally.
Whenever we don't accept what is, it creates resistance. Then that resistance pushes back against us. Now, accepting what is doesn't mean you don't want to change it. But first make peace with it and accept it. Then make that change. So if you make that change without making peace with it, and then you move towards it and do it, it's going to bring you right back again. You're going to keep attracting that same experience over and over and over because you didn't make peace with it. You didn't learn from it yet. And so EIP is a great reminder. Everything's perfect. There are no accidents. There are no mistakes. This unfolded for my greater good. Maybe I can't see it now, but later on I'll see it. So my greater good for that EIP was that, okay, by me going through that, my dream, ultimate dream, was to become this life coach, relationship coach with this amazing woman, and then to help change the world. That's the ultimate goal. So life said, all right, then we got to get your little butt into a relationship where you learn, get your heart broken, so you learn to understand the value and importance of a great relationship.
There you go.
It was my training, EIP.
There you go.
There you go.
Let me ask, to that point of mindset, and for yourself, what are you doing, or what do you do, I should say, not what are you doing? What do you do or learning to do on a daily basis? Are there any rituals? Are there any morning routines that you do that just sets you up for the day, or like EIP, gives you that reset to ground yourself, recenter yourself, that you can continue with the day and move on with things in the best way possible that you can for that day?
You know, for me, I have my ultimate goal every day is to live my life in alignment as much as possible. In alignment. Now, people have heard that word, alignment. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Here's our perspective on it. We share this with our clients. They all EIP, the same thing. So now I'm gonna share with you guys. We are energetic beings. And our higher self, universe, God, whatever name you want to name it, is the creator of everything in existence. Through quantum physics, they've proven that everything in this universe is one. Mm-hmm. There's an illusion that we're separate, but actually that's just an illusion. Everything is one. When they go down into a particle, the furthest down they can go, 10 to the negative 33 centimeters, at that point in quantum physics, they hit the fabric of the universe. Everything is one. We are one, the stars, one, we're one with everything. So now the creator of everything knows that everything is made of one thing, love. We're a part of that energy. So now imagine like the Edison. Edison would be source energy. Forgive my Brooklyn accent, so I'm not saying sauce, like applesauce.
The sauce.
It's source, S-O-U-R-C-E.
Got that sauce, yeah.
So that energy from Edison, electricity, is projected into your light bulb in your house. It's the same DNA, that electricity, as the energy at source, but it's a small amount. If all of it was projected into that light bulb, it would destroy it. Likewise, it's the same way with the universe, with God. So imagine that energy. We're a spark of that energy. That's our spirit. It's in us. It's the same DNA, but just a small amount. So the creator, this being, entity that created everything of love, we're a part of that being. So now, if everything is created of love and you're part of this, everything is one, then what is there to fear? Then how can there be lack? Then what is there to be ashamed of? So your higher self, we believe, looks at everything through the eyes of love, abundance, and appreciation. Every single moment, every single second, no matter what. Because it is the creator of everything.
Yeah.
So now, when we look at things through the eyes of love, abundance, and appreciation, it feels amazing. And the reason it feels amazing is because that's our higher self letting us know right now, your perspective on this subject matches the perspective of your higher self. You are in alignment. And when you're in alignment, life is magical. You feel amazing. Your intuition's off the hook. You feel excitement. People are attracted to you everywhere you go. It's just like your spirit is always trying to lead you to what you want, and you can hear your spirit, and it feels good. Your spirit's like, come this way, go this way. And you listen to your spirit, and it works out. Perfect. You make that connection that you needed, that hookup that you needed, whatever it is, because you are in alignment. And when other people look at you through the eyes of love, abundance, and appreciation, that feels amazing as well.
And his AirPods may have picked up.
Oh, okay, we back.
There he is.
I get you.
All right,
all right.
We're back in alignment.
All right,
Let's
back
go.
in alignment. Okay,
Let's
beautiful.
go.
Okay, so now let's flip the other side of alignment, being out of alignment. Whenever we look at things through the eyes of fear, doubt, lack, judgment, guilt, it feels horrible. And the reason that it feels horrible, first of all, the discomfort is our higher self spanking us to get our attention, just to get our attention. And it'll do it all day long as we let it. Once we focus on it, it's trying to let us know, right now, your perspective on this subject does not match the perspective of your higher self. You are out of alignment. And when you're out of alignment, you feel lost, you feel hopeless, you feel frustrated. You got to work really hard just to make a little bit of progress. People are repelled by you. It's like your higher self is trying to lead you and contact you to guide you to what you want, but you've deviated off the highlighted route because of your being out of alignment. So it's like your higher self is trying to talk to you and lead you, but it's like the connection is broken. It's like staticky. Like your higher self is like, hey, I'm trying to lead you to, but you're not, but I can't. Well, you feel lost.
Yeah.
So the key is to get back in alignment. And how do you do that? By having gratitude and appreciation for where you are, regardless of your situation. So maybe you don't have a lot of money, but you got $5. Have gratitude and appreciation for that. That feels better. That puts you back in alignment. That makes that connection a little better.
Right.
And you more gratitude, more appreciation, more gratitude, appreciation. So my goal all day long is to live from a place of alignment as much as possible. To look at everything through the eyes of gratitude and appreciation, love and abundance as much as I can throughout my day. And when I do that, life is magical. But even when I slip off and I fall because I'm human,
sure,
that's okay too. Because by experiencing what we don't want, it helps us to get clearer on what it is that we do want. So that contrast is important. We're not supposed to be just up here all day long. We need to. That's how we grow. So, but you just don't want to stay in that low place.
Sure.
Be there for a minute, feel around, experience your mood, learn what you can from it, and then get back into gratitude and appreciation and get back in the game. So that's my practice. That's my wife's practice all day long, every single day. It's like a muscle. The more you do it, the better the easier it gets. And while you're doing that, not only do you feel amazing, not only do you attract amazing experiences, not only does your health just go through the roof, it just makes life so much more enjoyable, so much more interesting, because it's so easy to focus on the things that'll get you out of alignment, especially in this day and age. So in relationships, we teach that to couples. The goal is to be in alignment. And who's responsible for your alignment? You are. Are you responsible for anybody else's alignment? No, you're not. Don't even try it. So that's the key right there. And that's basically being a conscious creator. And in relationships, we've learned over the years that when both people in the relationship become conscious creators, that's when things get really good. That's when you get a real marriage. Before that, you're just being particles instead of energy. Go energy. Be that. Yeah. Bring that to your relationship, because anything physical, particles, is created by energy. So there is no power out there. The power is in here. If you don't go within, you will go without. So go within. That's where the power is at.
I think I need to leave it at that. I think that is probably the most beautiful stopping point. You were speaking my language to the umpteenth. We're obviously going to have to do a part 2 because there's still just so much. We're just scratching the surface, but want to be respectful of time. And like I said, I think ending it on that alignment note is beautiful. And I hope that resonates with everybody. I hope that's something people can internalize that are listening and watching this. And and we're going to do a part 2.
I'm in.
Sure. Offline, online. We're going to do it.
Just let me know. You had me at hello. Put it that way. You got it.
Well, Anthony, I appreciate you. Love the conversation. Looking forward to more. And all the success with all the, pun intended here, amazing things that you and Melanie are doing, that you continue to do, that you continue to bring to our community and beyond. I'm loving it. I'm appreciating all of it and look forward to more of it.
Thank you, brother. The feelings are mutual, man. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, brother. Talk soon.
And that was man to man.
And that was man to man. That's what's up.
All right, bro.
All right.
Take care. Thanks again.
All right.